Alright guys, so this is Hasbro Pulse, formerly known as Hasbro Toy Shop. Just kind of want to show you what they have to offer. This kind of has the integrated HasLabs tab up here, but they actually have a really good offer right now where if you make a purchase between now and the 23rd of February, so you have a week, you get free shipping on it, but you also get Hasbro Pulse Premium, which is kind of like... I'm excited about this, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Just because if you look at this, so it's normally $50 for this. So I'm not. If you want to buy like a couple figures or whatever right now, just to get this free $50 free first year, it's going to be a great way to kind of gauge if it's going to be worth $50 next year. But you can see here, free standard continental US shipping for the rest of 2019. So cool thing about that is it's going to cover me through Force Friday, Triple Force Friday, which has officially been announced now, and just through the rest of the year. Monthly premium only discounts and flash sales. So maybe like when stuff goes super clearance, the Pulse Premium members get first dibs. That's kind of cool. Maybe they're going to give you some discounts on, I don't know, buying full waves or something. We'll see. Other perks throughout the year at select fan conventions and more. So I don't know if that means if you're Hasbro Pulse, if I'm going to get some sort of preferential purchasing ability. Like, does that mean I'm guaranteed to get the figures at the old Star Wars Celebration or Comic-Con or wherever you go? I don't know yet, but it's going to be fun. I have it. I did make a purchase. You want to make sure you're signed in before you make your purchase. And there was another little thing on here that I saw where you want to make sure, make sure you've opted in to marketing emails to receive updates and additional perks and incentives. I thought there was something else where it says you must do that. Maybe I'm just tripping. Must opt in to market. No, it's just up to receive updates. Okay, so you don't have to. So just make a purchase on there between now and 23rd, and you'll get that. This is kind of what the site looks like, all laid out by brands. HasLab, obviously, the only thing we have right now is the Jabba sail barge, which is already over with. I'm going to go to brands because, I mainly care about Star Wars. So you can see you have pre-order stuff up here. I'm not sure if you buy something pre-order wise if it counts to get you free Hasbro Pulse Premium or not. What I ended up ordering was the vintage archive, not vintage, Black Series archive. So I ordered that whole wave to see, not to see how it works because I'm assuming it's the same as Hasbro Toy Shop, but just to see, not to see, but to get what Pulse Premium. They do have a couple vintage collection barge stuff up there right now. I tried to pre-order this wave, but it showed two of them were out of stock, so I was like, let's just wait. But that's it for Hasbro Pulse. I think it's going to be cool, especially to see what kind of Pulse Premium benefits you get. But let's go into the Toy Fair 2019 reveals and check those out now. Alright, so there's basically 4 lines we got to cover here, with the vintage collection being the first. Then we're going to have Black Series, and then we'll go into the 2 new lines that we don't have yet that are brand new. So let's start off with the first one you see here, which is the Rogue One Stormtrooper. He's basically just a Stormtrooper, but it's kind of cool to have him on a Rogue One card. Next up is an already announced figure, which is the Han and Stormtrooper disguise. I believe he is exclusive to Target.com. Then we've got the Elite Praetorian Guard from The Last Jedi. This might be one of my favorite figures from the set that we've seen so far. Is the Childish Gambino Lando Calrissian. Pretty sweet looking. Then we've got a new removable helmet, Old Lando from Return of the Jedi, in the Skiff Guard outfit. Next up, we've got a Revenge of the Sith clone here, which is pretty cool because I think this is the first Revenge of the Sith figure on the second go round of vintage collection. Next up, for anybody who has a barge on the way, this is pretty awesome. It's already up for pre-order on like Entertainment Earth and some other sites, but this is the Skiff Guard 3-pack. Next up is a brand new vintage collection skiff, which is pretty sweet, especially if you have a barge on order. Really reasonable price, $40. Not too bad. Kind of excited about that one too. And then continuing with the Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi line, we've got a Jabba's Palace playset. It's got a place for Han Carbonite. It comes with 2 figures, Han Carbonite and Reese, which is pretty sweet as well. Next up, we move into Black Series 6-inch figures. Up first is one of the big ones we've been missing from the Solo movie with Dryden Voss. Next up, we got one of the cooler ones. These are actually hitting shelves already, but this is the Bane Han Solo. I think it's a really, really great looking figure. Then we've got the Trash Compactor Luke with wet hair in the intercom. I think this is a really sharp looking figure as well. Hasbro's really stepped it up with the Black Series recently. And then finally, 5 years into this series of Black Series, we get our first Padme. I think we need a ton more of her in different outfits and from the 3 movies as we go along, but we'll all patiently wait for those. Next up, we have the Imperial Jump Trooper, which I'm fairly certain is supposed to be from Battlefront 2. Pretty good looking figure, though. Another long overdue figure, which is the Battle Droid B1 edition here. I really hope that they do repaints like they did in the Phantom Menace line, where we get a few different versions, a clean, a dirty, a slashed, a shot, so on and so forth. That's a really good way to boost their sales and make collectors happy. Next up, we have Laura Dern. And another really anticipated prequel figure. We got Mace Windu. Looks pretty good. And then this here is probably my single most exciting thing that they've shown at Toy Fair. The next 2 figures. First up, we've got this awesome. This is a 6-inch Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi on a Phantom Menace style card with the 20th anniversary logo on it. Pretty sweet. And then next up, we've got a matching Darth Maul pair. These are both going to be exclusives to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago in April, so I will be there. Hopefully I'll be able to grab them. And then afterwards, they're going to be released in regular packaging. I believe the Maul is going to be Archive Series since he's already came out, but they both feature the new HyperReal face printing too, which is really awesome. Next up is the first new series of figures, a new line I should say, which are the retro collection. So now we're going to have a vintage collection, which is our super articulated new figures, and then a retro collection, which are basically reissues of classic 1978 Kenner figures and going onward. These guys retail for $10 a piece. I can't wait to get these in hand. I know a lot of people are concerned with what this is going to do to vintage collecting as far as having repro weapons basically on the market and, confusion with buyers among what's actually vintage and what's retro collection, but I think it's kind of cool. They are making new figures as well, including this Tarkin, which is done in a vintage style but was never actually released in the vintage collection. Next up is the second brand new style of figures they got is the HyperReal. The only one that they've announced so far is this Darth Vader. Lots of points of articulation. All the joints are hidden. It's got a metal skeleton under it to give you rigidity. It's supposed to retail for $80, so I've heard that it looks like it's going to be around Toys quality, which is going to be interesting to see if they pull it off at the price point that they're offering it at. So that's my coverage of the Toy Fair announcements and Hasbro Pulse. Of course, checking the links in the description, I'll have a whole bunch of different links to different figures and things that are already available. Be sure to check it out. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you guys going to sign up for Hasbro Pulse? Or are you going to buy something off the website to get it for free for the first year? Which I would kind of recommend. I mean, it's kind of worth the $20 investment of a figure you might be buying anyways, just to see what it's all about and how it's going to work out. So I think that's really cool. But that is all. Thanks for watching. If you made this far into the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know, what are you looking forward to? What do you think about the retro collection? I'm really curious to think what you guys have to say about that. That is it. I am out. Hey, thanks for watching this video. On the bottom left here, you can see I've got a room tour going on. Be sure to check that out. I usually update this twice a year. And on the right, you can see a sample of what my pickup videos look like if you haven't seen any of those yet. So please subscribe to see both of these videos. I try to do monthly pickups at a minimum and biannual room tour updates. But that is it. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Thank you very much.